So traders, in this video, you're going to learn the one pattern that is telling me that over the next, say, 4 or 5 years, somewhere in between that, we're going to see enormous moves out of some of the miners and the metals. So let me share with you what that one pattern is. Let me get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into it. Now I want to preference this with a little bit of a background history, a little bit of a background story on how I came to understand this. You see, when I first started trading 16 years ago, I had no idea what I was doing, right? I didn't understand how to get in. I didn't understand the markets. I didn't understand trading systems. I didn't understand trading approaches. I didn't understand anything like that. Now, if you'd like to learn my trading system, that gets a massive high success rate and how I have all my trading done in 1 hour per day, join my masterclass below, link in below, go join it. You're going to absolutely love it. It goes for about 90 minutes. Go join that right now. And you'll learn all the details about how I trade the markets. Now, as I was starting to go through my first 5 years, I lost a lot of money. I just had no idea what I was doing. So I ended up started going to a 7-figure coach of mine, multiple 7-figure coach actually. And he started really teaching me a lot of things about how the market really works. And when certain patterns, when certain things are happening in the markets, it's meaning certain things. So let me explain what I mean here. He said, John, you looking at the market or looking at any chart, you've got to understand that the charts, the markets operate like an energy source. He said, so if the market's not doing much, it's going sideways, it's not really using a lot of energy. It's just relaxing, right? It's just resting, it's relaxing, it's not doing much. It's just going sideways, up and down, up and down, up and down. It might go up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit, maybe a channel formation, so on and so forth. He said, so in those situations, think about it as it's just refueling, right? It's just refueling, whether it's a car or whether it's, a human, whatever, right? It's relaxing. It's the energy source, whatever the energy source is, it's now refueling. That's when the market's not doing much. He said, but then when the market is moving in a direction, either up or down in a strong format, he said the market is now using that energy. And he was explaining to me, he goes, so John, the way that my trading has been so successful, he said, because all I do is I look for those times when there's been a lot of time where the market has had a lot of time to rest, and now it's refueled to now go for a nice move, a nice run in that direction. He said, that's all I look for. I look for those times. Now, sometimes it's only a short-term little resting phase, so therefore it's only a short-term move. And other times it's a long resting phase, so therefore there's a high probability we're likely to go for a nice long move. And this really started helping me understand the markets. Now, there's a lot more that I can actually teach you when it comes to these markets, and when it comes to trading these markets. Again, I'm going to teach you a lot of stuff on that actual on that masterclass, the webinar that I'm running. So very first thing in the description. But above all that, I really started to learn this one powerful technique that understands these markets. Now, this whole backstory, guys, this is how I started really learning about the markets and really understanding how the markets really work. And so when I started understanding this, I'm like, oh wow, that is so powerful. So let me explain what I mean here. Whenever the market is not doing much, sometimes you see the market doing this, right? So it's just not doing much. This is where the market is resting. The market is resting and it's also refueling. So we're not doing much. We're not moving. We're not going up. We're just resting. We're refueling. Now, the longer this goes, all right, the longer this sideways movement goes, the higher the probability that when we do start to make a move out of, okay, we're starting to get up and get out and start to break out. The longer this move, the higher the probability of this actually being a nice long move. So if you have a long phase here, nice long phase here. I'll give you guys an example of a trade that me and my private clients actually did at the start of this year, as of doing this recording. So it was a LT. So if I go back to my weekly charts, This was a weekly chart trade, as you can see. So we can't really see, but let me bring this up through here. So look what was happening through here. All right. So we started trading this ALT around about here. Now we had a trading, this little up bar through here with this volume here gave us a nice little entry signal. But look what was happening with the stock market. Look what was happening with this particular stock. Notice how we're just going sideways for a very, very, very long time. And then look what happened. When we started the breakout, that was the breakout bar there with the volume. So me and a lot of my private clients actually traded this. And then look what happened. Eventually it went from, the entry was about 450. It eventually went up to around about, as you can see, around about $32. Now I didn't hold on to that. I didn't hold on to the whole lot personally, but you can see how I think I got out. Actually, I'll let you know exactly where I got out. I got out around about $18, somewhere around about there, $16, $17. So I got in down here somewhere. I was actually down here somewhere, down there, and then I rode that up through there. So as you can see, right, that was there. Another one was, I think it was, APT. Look at this here. Like it's amazing when this happens. Let me go back to the weekly chart. Look at APT. Now this doesn't happen all the time, guys, but look at this breakout bar. Oh, okay, enormous breakout bar. If I squeeze my chart up a little bit more, let me squeeze this up. Look at this here. Notice that massive spike on the breakout bar, but notice what was happening prior to this breakout bar. What was happening? Nothing, right? Nothing for, what's that? 1, 2, 3, a lot of years, just sideways movement. And then a strong breakout bar on this weekly chart. That said, now not straight away. We don't know whether it's going to go straight up straight away, or it might take some time. Like for example, this one here, it actually went sideways for about a month. Right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, for about a month it just went sideways, didn't do much, and then suddenly it kicked back in, and then suddenly we went through. Let me go back to the daily chart now. You can see that it actually spiked up, and then we went from like $5 to 40. And this was just amazing trade that me and my private clients did. Anyway, so I want to preference what I'm about to share with you with that. So if I go to this time frame here, when it comes to silver and gold, now you understand how the markets work, and by looking at the weekly charts, you can get a good gauge on what's going on that big picture, and why I believe, and when we have long resting phases, we have big moves in that direction. So if you look at the chart to the left over here, this is the gold chart. The top chart is the daily chart. The top chart is the daily chart. The bottom chart is the weekly chart. Look what happened with gold. Notice we didn't do we didn't do much. It wasn't like the examples I gave you just a minute ago, but notice how we went really just sideways, not really going up, not really going down, just sideways. Then we broke out, and then we went for a nice bull market, and we're still in that bull market, by the way. We're just having a nice, healthy, strong pullback through here. Beautiful buying opportunity. Okay, but now look what's actually going on with silver. Silver is the next one here. This one here is the silver daily charts. This is the weekly charts. Now, remember I said before, right? This is gold. Not much going on for many, many, many years. Then we break. Look what happened with silver. Same thing. Not much going on for many, many years. Now we break. Now guess what? We're just having a pullback. Remember, that's normal. This is just normal. So that's what gives me the confidence to say, okay, we're probably likely to start to see, it's probably likely to start seeing that soon. Now remember guys, this takes time. It doesn't mean it's going to happen next week, or it just says, okay, over this next probably 5 years, we're probably likely to see this sort of gold action. Now when I say 5 years, for us to make all-time new high in silver, it may take that long. If I go to the Gdx, you'll see same sort of thing. Look at this here. Just nothing, just sideways, and now we just broke out. We're having a nice healthy pullback. I expect that soon. Why? Because of all this resting phase. And the Gdxj, which is my favy, why? Because you can see same thing here, right? Not much going on. We just had a nice breakout. We're just having a pullback through here. I'm expecting that again. And so Gdxj is one of my favies because you can see it's had a really, really, really nice resting phase. We've rested a lot. So therefore we should see a nice move a lot real soon. And so therefore guys, that's what the one pattern that says we're going to make massive moves in the markets. And this is it here right now. It's so powerful. But as you can see, that this is more about sort of investing and not trying to, hope that tomorrow or next week or this month something's going to happen. You just know over time this is going to eventually plan out, and your job is to be patient. You're patient out of the markets, and now if you're in the markets right now and you're in some of the miners and metals, your goal, your view is 2025 or 2026 or heck at the end of this decade. You know what I mean? Like that should be your view if you're looking to invest in what I'm talking about here, because as you know, right, as you've experienced right now, we can go for, like we did in the mining stocks, we went for a big move up. Right? Well, we went for a nice move up for about 4 or 5 months, and now we're having about a 3 or 4 month pullback. That's going to happen over time and over history, and so just expect that. And so, but investing is all about capitalizing on really big long-term trends. I hope this helps you out, guys. Traders, I've been getting a lot of questions asking me about, John, how do I trade the markets? What sort of system do I use? What's my approach, and so on and so forth. So I'm running a free masterclass teaching you my #1 trading system for the last 15 years. This is the most powerful and highest probability system on the planet. And I'm going to just share with you all the details. Plus, I'm going to share with you how I find and scan and do all my trading in 1 hour or less per day. If you go to johnsfreetraining.com, you can register for this free training that I'm going to run. So go to that right now. I'm going to teach you all the details, and I promise you, once you leave this free training, not only we know exactly what goes into a good trader, so you could be a good trader, but also you're going to learn my #1 trading system, all the details so you can start to crush it. So go to johnsfreetraining.com, and I look forward to seeing you on the masterclass. Go to johnsfreetraining.com right now.